Whakatohea ki te uru, whakatohea ki te tonga. Kia tohe riri ki uta, tohe riri ki tai. E pupuke ana te tono tono, he te he niho, he waha huka. E te tia te tā tēnā koutou katoa. Ko Toiroa Williams tēnei. My name is Toiroa Williams, and today I'll be talking about my kaupapa, no hea koe, which translates to where are you from. But more importantly, no hea koe talks to where are your bones from, where do you originate from, who are you as a people, and not only you, but all those people behind you, your grandparents, your great-grandparents. And so that is where we're going today, talking about ko waio or no hea aho, where am I from. And that waiata that we were singing was talking about whakatohea, which opens up this session and settles the nerves to set up for a good kōrero this afternoon. So mihi atu kia koutou. So the first place I'd like to talk about is exactly that, where I'm from. I'm from a small place on the east coast of the North Island, of around 4,000 people in the town, 10,000 within the district, a small agriculture and horticulture industry within Opotiki. And the main place I'd look at is our mountain here, our ancestral mountain named Makio. And so if we would recite our pepeha, or our who we are as a people, I would talk about our mountains and our rivers. So ko Makio te maunga, ko Waioa te awa, ko Waioa te marae, ko Ngāti Patu Moana te hapu, ko te whakatohea te iwi, ko Mātātua te waka. My ancestral mountain is Makio. The ancestral rivers that flow is Waioa. The sub-tribe that I come from is Ngāti Patu Moana, and our tribe is Te Whakatohea, who come from the Mātātua waka. And so through this pepeha and through this concept of who I am, I connect back to the land and our people. But more important, we connect to the stories that have been passed down for generations. And admittedly, I'm learning a lot more about who I am as a person as I get older and I ask more questions. And it's such a deep kōrero about who I am as a person and the land and the history, that it is a dark history, and it is a sad history of injustice through our people in the years of the 1866. And if I could quote Dr. Tikanga Maxwell, one of our iwi leaders from Te Whakatohea, he states in a statement, and I quote, "I am a survivor of the 1860s Muru Whenua land confiscation policy period of Aotearoa's dark history. On the 2nd of March 1865, almost 150 years after missionary Reverend Carl Sylvius Wagner was executed by hanging in Opotiki by Kiriopa Te Rau and Ngāti Rangi Wewehi, who had travelled to Opotiki with the Pai Marire movement from the Ho-Hos. Wagner was accused of spying for Governor Grey, informing the government of Te Whakatohea's deliberations about coming to assist Waikato and the Kingitanga in their fight against Pākehā. So in 1866, as you would hear, there was a lot of tension within the land wars and the New Zealand government and Māori. And so our people of Te Whakatohea stood very strong with the Māori king of the time, and they supported him. And Carl Wagner was at the centre of spying, being accused of spying and telling the government of our people's movements. And again, learning more about this. Unfortunately, Whakatohea was invaded, and our ancestor Mokomoko was hung for these crimes. And so the last words Mokomoko spoke at the jail when he was hanged in Mount Eden on the 17th of May 1866, he said, "Tangohia mai te tauri taku kaki," which later turned to his last words of, "Take this rope from my neck so that I can sing my song. Farewell, Pākehā. I am a dying and innocent man, and for what reason?" And so the story hasn't been told as much as it should be, I think, in terms of being a descendant of Mokomoko. I'm only learning about our tipuna, or our ancestor, as an adult. And I know there are many other of my generation who are in similar situations. So I'm trying to find how can we better tell the story to teach all about these important historical events. And so one place we're looking at is through Whakapapa, so descendants of Mokomoko know who he is and what he did for our people. And it was over 180 odd years, I think, before he was actually pardoned by the government. And so it talks about creating a film on this event to tell it with the utmost respect. And so the film will follow a few concepts, and the first concept is around whakapapa, or genealogy, having a connection to the story. So through my great-grandparents, Ripeka and Amakura, and then my grandparents, Te Hau and Te Wairemana, and Nanny Gladys, I have direct whakapapa to this ancestor, and what a privilege that is. But that not only gives me a responsibility to talk about and teach this, but it also gives me an obligation to do it correctly and with the utmost respect and care. The second section that the documentary will look at is using Tikanga Maori at the forefront. So everything that we do when creating this film will follow Tikanga Maori and customs. So things such as karakia, or praying, and waiata, singing traditional songs, to bookend and encompass our crew, the film crew, but also those around it, the interviewees. And so tikanga plays a big part in that. For instance, me joining our local kapahaka or Pōtiki mai tawhiti to learn about more of these stories, these traditional stories, from an authentic te ao Māori perspective. And what an honour that was to stand in Pōtiki in 2019 where these photos were taken. The next section and the final section is around koha, or reciprocation. So once this film is made and this resource is developed, it doesn't only belong to me but to the people and the people that it has come from. And so not only will it inform them, but it will also become a resource and a taonga, or a gift back to those people. So unlike traditional filming structures where the films are held and created in the most economically efficient way, this koha concept is around reciprocation, giving and receiving, and so giving this film back to the local iwi and the tribe and to our family. One example of gifting is I was able to find this card de visite, or what was known of the times in the Victorian era as quite popular, to have a montage of different infamous people around the European settlements across the world. And so in this, it was labelled in 1860s when it was taken as the murderers of Vulkna, or Kawa Vulkna. However, in today's words, the only version that I found was in Te Papa Museum, and speaking with them, we've been able to change that name to a montage of portraits of Māori men and women, because again, all these people have been pardoned for their involvement, and some of them were unjustly accused. But all these people in these photos have whakapapa, have genealogy, have descendants, and so it's clearing and learning about who they were in their story for their whānau. And so lastly, if we can talk about a whakatauki that pulls this all together, it's around building connections and weaving a spiritual kete. And so this sums up exactly what I'm trying to talk about, a whakatauki from whakatohia, to weave the strands of people together and to give handles to the spiritual kete and to embellish that work with a fitting nobility. Nō reira, me mihi ka tika kia koutou katoa. Thank you all very much for listening to my kōrero. Here's some selected bibliographies on those different areas that have informed my research. And furthermore, if there's anyone that would be interested in contacting me, there's these email here. Nō reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou katoa.